Welcome to the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove, where the fence world gets real, raw, and unfiltered. Billy's not just an industry leader, he's a hands-on pro who knows what it takes to build quality fences and strong teams. So grab a cold one, settle in, and get ready for straight talk about the trade. Today's show is brought to you by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, J.C. Gury Signs and Decals, and Orlando Hinge Company. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fabulous Tuesday? Feels great to be back in the studio, not in my son's room. Been a busy couple weeks, y'all. Took last week off for the holiday. Had a long weekend, so did like that thing. Hope everybody has had a wonderful week, guys. I've been in the jungle for the past week, man. And Josh, this goes out to you, bro. If you wanted me to change my intro to Welcome to the Jungle, you should have just told me. But no, seriously, guys, it's been a long week for us. Lots of jobs on the books. I'm sure everybody is all booked out at summertime. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to go do a quick run through of the sponsors. First and foremost, we got Mr. Fence Academy, guys. Real job sites, real fencers, real training equals real results. If you are looking for a next level in your fence game, whether it be the business side or the installation side, look no further. www.mrfenceacademy.com. Check them out. You'll be more than happy that you did. National Metal Industries, guys. If you're looking for privacy slats, chain link material, ornamental, iron, aluminum, www.nmifence.com. Tell Mr. Mike Levy I said what's up whenever you go and purchase something. And then of course we got J.C. Gury Signs and Decals right here. I got it right that time, guys. If you're on the fence about a fence sign, look no further. All of it's made in America. Every single, one of the signs has Mylar lamination for added protection for years and years and years, so it looks good 10 years down the road. Guys, if you're struggling with having customers want double gates on an uphill swing on one leaf, Orlando Hinge Company has you you covered. www.swanhinge.com. I've used a handful of these myself. They are awesome. They work. www.swanhinge.com. Real quick, for all of you audio listeners or guys who might not be able to watch the full podcast, please go like and subscribe and hit that auto download button on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. It'd do me a great favor. Love you guys for listening. I see all the downloads. Awesome stuff, man. We got an awesome show lined up for you. My good buddy Jordan Hunt is on the show. He's dealt with some personal things in the past month. Biggest ice storm in the century up in Michigan, where he's from. Did some awesome things, helped out his community, and we're going to talk about that here shortly. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. I greet him, and we'll get right into it. There we go, man. I heard something. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Look at that, dude.
Face and wearing the shirt. Love it.
We're over here matching, dude. I love it, man. I wear my long sleeve when fishing, and last time I was fishing, somebody was like, "You're from Michigan?" I was like, "No, I'm not from Michigan, but good job. You know where this is at." They're like, "Yeah, man, we're actually not too far from it." I couldn't remember where they were, but they were just visiting and walking, and they saw the back of my shirt since I was standing at the pier. But
the name Grand Traverse is a synonymous thing across the country. People know of Grand Traverse because it's branded. It is branding. The town is Traverse City, and it's branded itself with Grand Traverse everything for decades. So yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. So real quick, for anybody who doesn't know you, give yourself a brief introduction, who you are, where you out of.
Yeah, so I'm Jordan Hunt, up here in northern Michigan. I own JLH Fence is kind of our primary place. And then we've launched Grand Traverse Fence here over the last year over in Traverse City. So our main branch is Gaylord, center part of the state. Traverse City's over on the coast, on the west coast part of the state there next to Lake Michigan. In the northern half of Michigan is where we operate by, basically. So map of Michigan's on your hand every place you go. We basically from here to here up in the water, and then we do some commercial projects all over the state, basically anywhere else. So that's our business. My heart's in Montana almost all the time, so I spend most of my time out there that I don't have something going on back here in Michigan, in the mountains there north of Yellowstone National Park, trying to hide from the world in the mountains, chasing lions with my dogs or riding my mules into the hills or something.
Yeah, nice, man. And what's funny is the last time we were all together, it was me, you, and Nico, and like both of y'all were like, "Yeah, this is how everybody in Michigan tells you where they're at."
Everybody, yeah,
read their hand. I'm like, no way. And then I put it up to the map. I was like, I get it now. I
completely get it. Perfect. Yeah, I live right here. Tomorrow morning, I got to be down here.
That's funny.
I should mention too, I have an amazing wife who was in our business, Amanda, who you've met, Miss Amanda, a lot. And then I'm a father of a 6-year-old little girl who is starting to run equipment for me now. So that's pretty cool.
There we go, man. She's a little pistol too, ain't she?
She is. Yeah, she'll jump in the skid steer and just take off, feed mules hay bales and things like that. 6 years old. So.
That's awesome. Awesome. How was your week, buddy?
Week's going good, dude. We're starting to get back to where I've got a little bit of my time back. So after our ice storm, it was just like balls to the walls. Everybody was just laser focused, working all the hours we could, meeting with customers, writing insurance bids. It was crazy. And now I'm starting to get some of my time back a little bit, starting to kind of dive back into some of the business aspects. But basically, everything else had to get shelved for about 8 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
week's going good though. Projects are going off. Guys are building at a pace that's all bid into it. So we don't have any real problems today. Tomorrow's another day. Could have problems tomorrow, but who knows?
Right. Every day's a new day, man. It all brings its blessings and its curses every single day. So
we just jump topside and breathing.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, since you just mentioned it, we'll just jump right in. For those who don't know or who kind of sort of know, what happened about 9 weeks ago up in at Grand Traverse?
Yeah, so Grand Traverse area in specific was good because they had the lakeshore and that warmer, just that 3-degree difference in air temperature kept them from having the damage. But as soon as you got inland, I think 11 counties ended up in the natural disaster declaration up here. We had 3.5 million acres of timberland damaged or wholly destroyed by an ice storm. Woke up, I think, last day of March, and we'd been putting in fences. And the last day of March, woke up, and there was kind of some drizzling rain, ice starts building. Common, happens, half a dozen times a year up here. It's no big deal.
All right.
And it just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. It was the perfect weather conditions, and it built upwards of 1.25 inches of ice on everything.
Wow.
And the infrastructure couldn't handle it.
Right.
The timber loss was tremendous. The infrastructure from like our power grid, we lost tens of thousands of power poles. We lost full transmission stations, substations went down. Radio towers toppled over. Cell phone towers went down. Most everybody up here was out of power from between 10 days and 20 days, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And we were without cell coverage for pushing 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't have internet for well over a month. So it made business challenging, made everything challenging.
Right.
You couldn't get anywhere. The day after the storm, there was a 3-day icing event. The day after kind of got over and we could get out, happened over a weekend. Monday morning, we went to the shop figuring people were going to try and meet at the shop. We couldn't get a hold of everybody. And most of the guys made it into the shop, It's 15 miles. It takes me about 15 minutes to get to my shop from my house. I went and picked up my right-hand man here in town, and he and I took chainsaws, and it took us an hour and 45 minutes to get to the shop. We had to pick roads. We were cutting trees out of the way. There were down power lines. Everything was off. You mean you could just cut power lines with snips and keep going.
Right.
But it was insane. It took weeks just to get like around places anymore. So it was
Right.
terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. A lot of no loss of life. Maybe a person or two died from lack of having oxygen machines and things. But yeah, and then it was months, and they're still removing all the debris. There's my property I barely even started in here. It's terrible. It's destroyed. Everything's trashed.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds much like a hurricane down here.
Yeah. So a lot of the I've talked to a lot of the guys putting the power poles in, and they said they've worked for 20 years or whatever, and they've seen, category 5 hurricanes that didn't have as much destruction.
Oh yeah.
Because they'd come through in paths, or tornadoes would come through in paths, or a hurricane would hit a swath and be terrible. This was literally, I just showed you our area up here. We're from here north. It hit everything but the coastlines. All the high ground got just trashed. They say 3.5 million acres of public and private ground was partially or wholly destroyed as far as the timber value goes.
That is wild, man.
It happened that fast. It changed the landscapes. You drive around, things look different.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with a hurricane, especially if you go onto the beach, and if you're familiar with this area where I'm from, Pensacola. I grew up, and we would go down the beach road, and there's water on both sides of the road, right? So you got the Gulf of America over here, and then you've got the Bay side over here. Well, when you're driving down, whenever I was a kid, you could look left and right, but all you would see was 30-foot sand dunes with, grass and everything. Now, with all the hurricanes that we've had, you can look left and right and you can see water. So it's kind of the same thing. A lot of our landscaping has changed from these natural disasters. And you just kind of got to just work with it and let it grow back. And it's a long process, man.
That's all you can do. I mean, the thing is, Mother Nature's been doing this to this earth for millennia. And our humanity has been recording it for about, this long or so. And so we think it's just this drastic thing that happened. And it's not. It's happened before. Everything recovered. It'll happen again. It just sucks to be the ones that have to live through it, I guess.
Right. So I want to talk about something that I thought was really cool of you and your company. Of course, I knew like this was going to be what you were going to do, but you took your fence company and you went out into the community and literally helped the community for what, 2 weeks? A week?
Yeah, it was probably the first week and a half.
Okay.
So the first couple of days after the storm, we basically gathered up our whole posse, all of our crew, all of our team members, and tried to figure out what they needed, because they were affected too, to get their houses in order. And so we were literally, cutting trails into their homes, making sure everybody had a generator. We had all of our generators from the shop, all of our water tanks, everything. Nobody had water. I mean, we don't have municipal systems here. We have wells. So we were literally having pumps, and we were pumping water out of rivers into tanks and making sure everybody had water to flush their toilets and all that. We still had, it was cold. It was 22, 23 degrees. We had to jerry rig generators in to keep heating systems going for people. So we made sure our own house was in order, had all of our crews heat on, and it took about a day and a half to get all of that dealt with. And as soon as we did, we met the following set of days. We loaded all of our equipment. We have 3 skid steers, grapple buckets, machines, excavators. I like toys, so I bought a bunch of those things, and we loaded them up and just started heading into some of the residential areas around our community. They were just trashed. I mean, roads destroyed, people stuck in their homes for weeks, because even if they had cleared the road, their driveways might be a half mile long, so they couldn't get into them. Nobody knew. We were just out doing welfare checks with people.
Right.
And so we just literally, nobody asked. You didn't ask anybody if you could go do it. You just showed up. And there was lots of other companies, lots of other individuals doing the same thing. So we just showed up at different HOAs and things, dropped equipment off in the middle of the road, and took chainsaws and guys and started opening paths, driving into each driveway, opening that path, knocking on the door, seeing if they needed anything, dropping off a case of water, making sure they were good, making sure they didn't need to get out, making sure they didn't need us to radio for emergency medical services, or they didn't need anything. So we did that until we weren't finding any people that hadn't been out yet. And it took the better part of a week, maybe a little longer, to get that done. And then we started just kind of, working on our own stuff again, making sure our equipment was ready to go back out into the field and work. And it was a challenge, man. But there was so much that went on up here. So many people, just excavating companies, just loaded shit on trucks and started, you'd run into people I knew, arborists that I knew from over the years working with them. And we'd be like, hey, we're attacking this tomorrow. You want to come into this? We could use an extra skid steer. Yeah, I'll send the crew there. And the county was overwhelmed. The municipalities were overwhelmed. There was nothing they were going to do. And it wasn't their fault. Nobody plans for this crap. So the community just kind of all jumped in and made it happen. It's nice.
That's awesome. So something that you have not talked about a whole lot, man, but you shared this with me in Indiana, I don't know, a month and a half ago or something, I don't remember. But you lost about 90% of your maple farm, man. How?
Yeah, so we've had I'm a serial entrepreneur. We've jumped into a lot of different things and built some stuff. We had the largest maple syrup operation as a family here in the state of Michigan for about 12 years. We sold that here a couple years ago. It was about 30,000 trees tapped, which is kind of a mid-level player in the industry, quite truthfully. And then my wife and I had a small 500 tap operation here at our house, and it was more of a show place, and people could come and tour it. And we had nice groomed and packed trails for snowshoeing. And when I woke up the second day of the storm, I got woke up in the morning by a loud crack. Shit, they're on a tree. And then I opened the door and the windows of the house and started listening. And about every, 15 to 30 seconds for 36 straight hours, all you heard was crack, pop, snap. And I knew there was going to be bad things happening, but you couldn't go out in it. And then it hung for about 5 days. We had cold temperatures, so it just all hung on the trees for 5 days, and the wind came up and it crashed. And we have tubing systems through our woods. Our property is about 50 acres, 38 acres of it is hardwoods, and we have tubing systems up through that, and it trashed it. It just knocked it down. It's all underneath brush, and now the leaves are out, and it's all growed up around it. And my trails up to my barn and everything were trashed. I've got it opened up now, but yeah, it's going to be, if we even rebuild it, I'm not sure that the trees I'm looking out the window right now, and the dieback that'll happen from this, a maple tree will can lose about 60 to 70% of its crown, its canopy capacity, before it will potentially suffer death from injury. And there's quite a bit of my canopy that lost more than that. There's places where there's 45 and 50-year-old trees that just look like a telephone pole 60 feet up in the air that lost every limb.
Wow.
So I don't know. It'll be a few years before we even attempt to do anything here again. And it'll really depend on what the health of the woods looks like in a few years, and only time will tell that. So yeah, it just sucks. We invested in this, and we've sold most of the equipment now, but all our tubing, we invested, $25,000, $30,000 in tubing in that woods, and it's trashed it. It's gone. There's no insurance for it. There's no anything. It's just gone.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man. I hate to hear that for you, man, but I know you'll bounce back like always.
Yeah. A lot of people lost a lot worse things. That was just a hobby of ours we played with, and whatever. At the end of the day, it was sad, but I had some kind of emotional shares there in our academy group, our private academy group, and I felt safe to do it there, right? But I was just emotionally taxed from that whole scenario, and it was so nice to be able to vent those things out to a small group of people that I knew had my back, man. It's awesome.
Yep, man. I watched every single one of them. I might not have watched them live, but I went back and watched them.
Yeah.
So very powerful, moving stuff. Feel for you. Very much so. Very much so. Feel for you, man.
Yeah, we're blessed though, man. Our house didn't get hit. None of our critical infrastructure at our home got hit or our barns. It was just our woods, and it won't be the same in my lifetime. But I mean, again, that's small prize, I guess. No big deal. Yeah. It'll bounce back. We'll bounce back. No big deal.
Small drop in the bucket, right?
Small drop in the bucket. I know people that lost homes. We had a couple houses burned down because a power mast come off, and then they arced and burnt houses down. And people lost whole halves of their roof because trees just fell through the house and split it in two. And yeah, so me losing a little bit of timber and a little bit of tubing in my woods wasn't, I guess, something to cry about.
Well, the fact that you guys only had, maybe one or two deaths out of all of that, man, that is very good news.
Yeah.
Very great news, because
it is. We live in a really resilient area with a lot of people that are kind of backwoods, almost conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat wearing preppers. So if the world, it was one of the greatest. You talk to anybody up here that's lived up here for a while, it was one of the greatest 2-week periods once you got over the shock of it that we've all had in a long time, because our phones wouldn't ring. There was no internet. The TVs didn't work. We just all kind of went back to living and forgot that the world existed for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then there was no problems.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of the bullshit that was going on out there outside of our little community.
Yeah.
It didn't exist anymore. And we didn't have to worry about it. We just worried about our own little thing.
I hear that, man. So whenever I was a senior in high school, Hurricane Ivan hit Pensacola, Florida, and we were without power for, most people were without power for 20 to 30 days. There was a little bit of people who were pushing closer to 40. But it was just the same mentality, man. Nobody knew what was going on outside of Pensacola. We all just kind of huddled together.
Yeah.
Like helped out neighbors and stuff. And so, I mean, that's like kind of the closest story I have to that, because we haven't had a major one since I was a senior in high school, which is 20 years ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pushing 25 now.
That's man. I was looking at the date and I was like, it's 2025. I haven't gotten a 20-year reunion thing yet. I wonder if we're having one.
Yeah.
But freaking time flies whenever you're
dude, tell me about it. I just went back I got invited back to do a career day seminar for my home high school, very small high school. And it was crazy. It's been 24 years since since we've done anything, since I've been in the school, really. And got to go back in there. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you some things today that might get me kicked out of here, but it don't matter. One more time ain't going to be a big thing.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. You got any specific stories about the cleanup that stick out or anything, or was it just...
So we're 7 days into it, and I think it was day 7, and it was about the end of it. We were starting to branch out into some outside communities away from Gaylord, and starting to get into some smaller HOAs that maybe have 40, 50 homes in them, and they're kind of spread out down these 2 tracks around some lakes. And we get to the end, and this old gal lives right next to a main highway, but the power lines had all come down on that highway, and trees were down across that road. So her house could see the highway, but the only way into her house was about a 5-mile stretch of back roads to get into it now. Well, nobody had been there yet because she was at the end of a dead end, essentially. And there was only one house on that lane. And so we're just cleaning back in there, and I realized there's a car in the driveway with a tree on it. And there was a jug of water or jug of something sitting on this porch as I'm cleaning up. So he just kept cleaning and pulling the brush away, and we went and knocked on the door. And here's this 75, 78-year-old lady on oxygen, no generator, struggling, hasn't had water in the house in a few days because somebody was kind enough to drop a jug of water on the porch, but didn't get it inside, didn't knock on the door, or she didn't come to it. And so she'd been all that time without ability to flush her toilets, without ability to have anything. She'd run out of drinking water. She didn't have oxygen. So we managed to get to her, get her some water, and then get her help and get her out of there. And that was surreal to me, to think that somebody you couldn't communicate. There was no communication. The county was so overwhelmed that they couldn't go out and find everybody. And so it was just left to a community member to jump in and do something. And it really sparked or reignited a passion in me to be civilly minded and to, help our community. I'm a paramedic. I worked in fire industry and as a paramedic for 13 years. And kind of lost touch with some of that when we started building companies. So it was nice to get back into that realm a little bit and feel like I was helping somebody. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So did you find yourself at any time, like going through this, having any sort of mental doubts or anything, or how did you like keep yourself mentally tough throughout this whole thing?
Yeah, that was hard, man. No, it was good for the first, through all that, it was great. Through the storm, it was fine. Through the cleanup effort, the immediate shock and awe of it, that was fine. It was sad, but after that first week and you kind of got through the adrenaline and we got to go do stuff. And now you're starting to take stock of what actually has happened and start to reevaluate what we're going to do next. Oh my God. The reality starts hitting you and you don't have those adrenaline rushes and you're no longer hyper focused on just getting something done today because I got to do this today, so I do that tomorrow. You're starting to reevaluate the big picture. And that started getting tough. And the next 2 weeks were hard. And, I found myself just leaning on my team members some, and they leaned back and we just kept helping each other out and kind of lived in our own little family group, helping real family. My mother-in-law, we went the first day after we got our team whole. I went that same day, the first day after the storm, went and dug her out of her place, and she's on oxygen. And we dragged her back over here to my house, and she lived here for a week. And we got her set up and I have generators and everything like that. So we were able to lean on each other to get through it. And then as soon as we started getting a little bit of services back, I was able to go back out into my fence family community. And for me, it's the Mr. Fence Academy. That's where I feel I don't do a lot inside of the big groups. Every once in a while, I might say something in there, but I will go live. I'll talk in front of our Mr. Fence Academy group because there's 70 of us in there. There's not a one of us that are going to shame the other person. We're all there for each other 100% of the time. So I feel safe there. It's a really safe community. It's a safe family. So that was helpful, because those people, everybody here was going through it. Everybody that I was leaning on here locally was also going through the shit. So we all needed each other to we were all trying to fall over and we just kept falling into each other and kind of kept standing. But it took that outside community, that outside friendships, the outside mentorships to just vent to hear, hey man, if you need anything, a few phone calls, you called, Nico called, Sean called. Once we started getting communication back, and it helped. It just gave just that little bit of encouragement, that place of relief to just vent something out to some people. And because after about 2 weeks, if you're venting to people that are also venting to you about the same exact situation, everybody's sick and tired of hearing it. Yep. So, it was nice to be able to find that community. It made me really proud to be part of both part of the academy and part of the greater fence community because everybody was there for me.
I freaking love it, man. I freaking love it. And,
I wear Mr. Fence Academy, FWA is on the sleeve, and the AFA. So, we bleed it, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Same here, man. Same here. And, it's always nice to have that outside source to lean on because having eyes outside of the problem is always a big help. Having somebody on the outside is a real game changer for you, mentally and physically even too. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it didn't get easier. The emotional tax of it got easier when I just finally put to bed that, yep, my shit's all destroyed. Okay, I'll deal with that when time comes. Everybody else's stuff's destroyed too. What got hard is if you're part of our academy, and you'll know this already, so people watching from the academy, they know how intensively we watch our KPIs, and we know how many phone calls we need, how many things we're geared up to do, how many leads we bring in, how many meetings we have. We do 394. I need 394 leads this year to hit revenue goals based on our typical lead to interaction to sale ratios.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up with 225 additional inside the first 6 weeks after that storm.
Bro, that's awesome.
That's not, it's awesome. It's great. I mean, there's work, but when you're built to do this many down here and you all of a sudden have half a year's come in 6 weeks, that's a problem that you did not expect or could not have planned for. Yep. And it took, my salesman was out every day. I was out every day. I just put the salesman hat back on for several weeks, and we each did, I don't know, 6 to 8 a day across northern Michigan, getting people and hearing everybody's horror stories, hearing everybody's problems, and you're another person to cry to, and rightfully so. So, and it was tough. It just got, by the end of it, I think by the end of it, if somebody would have came in and said, I will take your company for you free of charge and just deal with it, I'd have given it to somebody. I was so over it, man. And that's just ended. So it's been weeks of just like Nico called me after one of our last meetings and goes, dude, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, no, but probably we're okay. I'll be fine. I just got to get past this.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. It taxed our system to the max. But what it did is it showed me the break points. Yep. It gave me a new focus of what we need to be capable of, what we are capable of, but how it almost mentally broke me. And it did. I was a week and a half ago. If you'd talk to my wife, she just said he is not okay currently. He is broken right now. And I was at my end of my rope. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it gets nuts. And there's intestinal fortitude. I don't know. Just no other option. What do I just get up and say no? You can't do that. So just get up and keep slugging and ask for help and pray and talk to the good Lord and just keep moving forward.
There we go. We go. All right, man. We are going to run to commercial break. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Sounds good, buddy.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. Gury Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. Gury specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgury.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgury.com. Struggling with a gate that drags on your sloped yard? Orlando Hinge Company has the solution. The Swan Hinge. Unlike standard hinges, the Swan Hinge lets double drive gates swing open smoothly up inclines, eliminating dragging and binding. Easy to install on vinyl, aluminum, wood, and chain link gates. It's built for durability and made to withstand the elements. And when your customer hears that, yes, their gates can work on a slope, you just made the sale. The Swan Hinge, designed by fencers for fencers. Made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Order today at swanhinge.com or email info@orlandohingecompany.com. The Swan Hinge, because every gate deserves to open smoothly.
All right, guys, boom, we're back. Real quick, again, if you're looking for an upgrade to your fence business, whether it be the business side or the fence installation side, look no further. Mr. Fence Academy, www.mrfenceacademy.com. My National Metal Industries, www.nmifence.com. JC Gury, www.jcgury.com, and Orlando Hinge Company at www.swanhinge.com. Boom. We're getting right back into it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now we are going to turn the page and get more into some fence talk. Been seeing a lot of your working videos lately, man, and love what you're doing over there. What changes have you made in your fence pounding techniques?
Yeah, I mean, the same as a lot of people. We've tried different things, and we basically went to an all-driven system. So we do the iDrive power systems for everything, and we go beyond that. We drive a lot of wood posts for ag fence. We're part of the ornamental ag world. We've got a crew right now building 3,500 foot of 4-board rail, all driven round post and 2x6. And we've got, I think, 3 more of those, not quite that size, to do this summer that are scheduled out. But so we drive those with skid steer, nitrogen charged post drivers. I built our very first post driver we ever used for a skid steer. I built based on the Bryce Samara post driver out there, the big kinetic energy drop weight that has a pulley system mechanical advantage to lift and drop a heavy weight, and that was built on the front of a skid steer. I built that one winter. We used that, put 10,000 posts in with it.
Nice.
And then I think our Montana is running close to 60, or somewhere right around the 60,000 post mark now. And we've got a TMG that I bought, a cheap Chinese knockoff that I bought, and it's probably got 8 or 10,000 posts through that one. Nice. Over the last few years here. So it's, those things have changed the game for that, like the smaller, more compact pneumatics have in the residential world. Some of those gas powered ones just aren't quite enough. They're hard to do, I guess Sean would say, go to war with every day. Yep. They're just tough to do that with. We have, I guess one thing that's changed for us is that we have kind of made maps of where we know we can use different drivers, right?
Okay.
If you're going to Gaylord and in and around the Gaylord area, you can use whatever you want because it's sand ground and everything drives super easy. You can use the smallest gas powered driver and it's going to get the job done great, no problems. But if we're going up to Rogers City and we're pounding on limestone rock, we're using some of the biggest drivers. Like we might go build a chain link fencing up there and we're using one of the Montana nitrogen drivers on the front of a skid steer driving post in.
Wow.
So we've just kind of made those adaptations to our ground and our situations. And then we've built some skids for like our bull. We use the bull driver there. We mounted the air compressor, the little wheelbarrow compressor, to a steel skid, put some extra tankage on it for some, extra tankage for air, put hose reels on it. We put a boom on it that goes up that has a tool balancer. I watched a bunch of those New Zealand boys using drivers with tool balancers, and I thought, well, that's cool. And so it took some time, and I found the tool balancers online, and I ordered one. So like our bull just hangs up and it drive around with a skid steer, the mini skid, and I can stand the post up, pull the driver down, it pulls down. We built a long whip for it. So we built some tools to make things easier. If we're doing large commercial jobs now, like the guys built a I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 foot of 6+1 with a bunch of cantilever gates and whatnot in Traverse City. And they used that because it was super simple. Just drive along, drive a post, drive them all in. And a day later, you're done driving posts and you're stretching fabric. So
Nice.
I guess we always drove, and we came from the ag world. So as soon as somebody told me, well, you can drive that type of fence, I'm like, done. There was no hesitation from me ever. If you told me I could drive it and it was acceptable, I was doing it. And so then I learned through the ASTM standards what we needed to do to drive fences effectively, and also how we can't be given driving fences a bad name in our industry by doing piss poor quality work just by thinking we're taking a shortcut to drive a fence post. And that's what happens a lot. You see guys that they're trying to use it as a shortcut, and they're doing things with improper materials. They're not going deep enough. They're driving 30 inches into the ground with 065 wall material. And it's like, boys, that's really not how this works. We need to be driving to a half the height +6, and we need to be using a heavier wall post. Like our residential, we don't use anything less than SS20. And if we know we're getting into hard driving conditions, our residential is getting SS40.
Yep. Absolutely.
Just what it is, right? So with that, our build styles have changed, right? Everything about it's changed. It's become easier because we buy 4 pallets of Quickcrete a year now instead of whatever, 50, 60, 70. So that's handy. The guys' backs don't hurt near as much, and our install rates have gone tremendously up. And we're a 4-day-a-week crew. We were, just 410s. So I don't know. It's probably benefited us more than just that. It benefits us in the potential of sale, right? So if we can gain back, it's super hard to get crews and to build out good crews now. So the easiest thing I can do is just make their workload easier, make their days lighter, make them get back a little earlier. And maybe every 2 weeks that one crew puts in an extra project or an extra 2 projects that they would have if they would have been building, traditional dig and set.
Right.
And so we've increased their capacity. We truly strive for we're pushing to get over $300,000 in gross revenue per employee, per team member.
Okay.
Push. That's our goal. We're not quite there yet. We're closing the gap. But I keep adding team members into the back of the house that keep kind of robbing from the numbers, trying to grow and build out. So I think if we went back to pre-build out status, we would be really close to that. We would be super close to hitting that goal. But I keep monkeying it all up by throwing extra team members into the mix that we didn't have when I started.
Hey man, it happens.
I keep learning I keep figuring out how to break it, right? I keep trying to figure out, as soon as it gets comfortable, I try to figure out how to break the fucking thing so that we can fix it and make it better.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I love it. Well, speaking of crew development and culture development, what's your mindset on that?
It's the hardest thing in business. Both from a mindset, we got to get in the right frame of mind for it. And from just a reality, just put it into practice, making sure we keep our culture healthy is, and I talked about this at the retreat, actually with Dan Wheeler. It might've made one of his podcasts and one of his episodes. I like to be away from my company, and in the future, in the next 10 years, I will likely be stepped away from my company's day-to-day operations completely. That's my goal. And typically when I set a goal, I get there because I don't stop until I get there. So, but what that means is I have to make sure that right now, if I'm gone for 2 weeks, it's no big deal. If I'm gone for 3 weeks, it's no big deal. And I've been gone for, last year I was gone for 83 days to Montana. Worlds had to go on. But if I was gone for more than a total of about 3 weeks at any given time, it seemed like I'd come back and there was by no intention of anybody, there was a seed planted. And that seed that was planted was just starting to root. It hadn't really popped through the surface yet, but you could just tell something was different, something had changed. And all that means is that our culture is healthy, but not as healthy as it needs to be, and it's not weed proof, because those seeds were just weed seeds. Somebody was planting. Something was happening. I didn't have my thumb on it. I wasn't paying attention good enough. And I know a lot of other people that are in this situation have the same issues. I got to get back because I'm having a culture problem in my business. I got to get back because I got to take care of that. I've talked to Chris quite a bit, and that happens everywhere. It happens across the board. So at the retreat, Nico put on a presentation, and he talked about transitioning from being a boss or being an owner or being a I can't remember what his term was, but you need to transition from that mindset to being a mentor. So we're no longer a manager, we're a mentor. And when you start thinking about it in that way, that I'm no longer managing, and that was it, it was managing.
Yeah.
I'm no longer managing my team. I'm no longer managing these people. I'm no longer managing my management staff. I'm mentoring them so that they see what I see, so that they do what I would do, and what their decisions are going to reflect my decisions, because I'm mentoring them to a point where they see the world in this business the way I see it, or at least morally. So we've restructured. I mean, last year I spent a lot of time, and there's a video of me writing on my wall with a Sharpie our mission statement and our core values and how we're going to stay on track with our mission statement. Today, it is still Sharpied on the end wall of our shop building, so everybody knows it. And we're truly trying to mentor our team leaders and our management staff to be owner operators, to the point where two of my guys who have been with me, one for 9 years, one for 7, have worked from installers who helped me when I couldn't afford to pay myself for a year. They've been with me since then till now, and they're willing to take on the extra workload in our Grand Traverse fence build out. And so they're getting rewarded for that with an ownership stake in that company. So they are getting given, and I say given, they have earned way more than that in my mindset. And that's why they're getting it. All right. We're just granting them over a percentage stake in that company, because they take initiative, they take leadership, they take it personally. And I'm trying to change my idea of, I'm no longer managing those people. I'm mentoring them to be better at what they do, because if this is going to grow again, and we have plans on putting in 1 to 2 more installations, maybe both here in Michigan, maybe one in Michigan, one on Montana. And if that happens, those people are going to have to take new roles away from what they're doing now and be able to mentor the next people that are replacing them underneath them, and keep branching this out. We put in more management structure. And so that's, to me, how we try to keep our culture healthy. We had a real bad situation here just recently, and I shared it in our Facebook group. It was, we hired a young lady with a Class A CDL to come in and work with us. And after about a month, it became apparent she wasn't physically up to the challenge. She couldn't lift a post driver. She couldn't huck pickets up and down the fence line all day. She just wasn't capable of it. Sweet gal, nice to be around the shop, pleasant on certain, everything. But she had started a problem because we run a lot of 2-man crews. And so it had started planting a little bit of animosity in our company that I didn't intend. And after having a little private meeting with a couple team leads, I said, you know what, she's going to have to go. And that was one of the hardest things. I fired people for cause and never batted an eye. I don't lose sleep over it. I struggled with this one because she was super nice. She came in, she tried her hardest. She did a great job for us. She just wasn't capable of doing the job. The physicality of the job disqualified her from it. And it was super hard. But it was important to do that before the culture was, anybody she worked with was dreading working that day because they were going to have to carry her load too.
Right.
And so I had to figure that out, and which meant I talked to my management team about, hey, here's what I see. Do you see this too? Yeah, that's exactly what I see. All right, Seth, what do you see here? Is this how you see this? Yep, that's how I see it. Okay, I'm going to talk to my team leads and see how they see it. And if everybody sees it and then we're in agreement, then we're going to take the next steps. Here's the next steps. And we're going to have to let this person go. And I need to teach my people to do that, because at some point in time, I'm not going to know that person was hired, and I'm not going to know that person was let go. And I'm all damn sure not going to know if they're capable of doing the job or not. It's not going to be my responsibility.
Absolutely.
So that was the biggest mind shift for me this year. And it literally blew my mind. I mean, I've sat in on sermons. I have sat in on speeches, on classes at AFA events all across the country. I've sat in on the academy. That was one of the biggest things I took away from anything I've ever sat in on was, you say you can't make more of yourself, but you might actually be able to make more of yourself if you take the time to invest yourself into these people as a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man. I have do you have anybody that is like the designated team trainer, or is it just they go with the team lead and that's it?
Well, yeah. So we bounce around to different team leads we've got different team leads that seem to have a better grasp on different things, right?
Right.
And so we'll bounce around, especially our new team leads that we're bringing in. We're challenged this year. We've always worked team leads up from the bottom. We don't have that option now. We're growing too fast. I don't have the time to develop them from the bottom. So we're hiring people in with larger skill sets and then teaching them to be a team lead for us in what we do, which is great. But it comes with challenges. So I'm sticking type A personality people that I'm trying to make into a team leader with our already type A personality team leaders and trying to bounce them around so that they get a good hands-on experience with our best wood installer and our best aluminum and our best chain link and our best commercial and our best ag. And I mean, a lot of those people are the same. It's not like we have special guys. Most of those people are the same. It's just, I know Aaron is really good at running residential chain link and he can run commercial projects, but he's really good at running residential jobs and picket fencing, pine picket. So we put guys with them and then we bounce around, and I try really hard not to burden those team leaders too much, too often. I will go out and be a third man. If that's a 20-man hour or a 40-man hour job and it's scheduled for 2 guys, I'll go be a third guy because I don't have to pay myself extra for that job. So we're not costing to the job anymore.
Right.
And I took it upon myself to go learn how to train people 2 winters ago with Sean, and I spent 8 weeks out on the road with him, traveling, learning how to train people, and just did it because I wanted to, and it taught me how to go out and train my own crews.
Yeah.
And then we take guys and we travel down to Southern Indiana. We're going down there again in a couple of weeks.
Hell yeah.
We were down there a couple of weeks ago. We're going down in a couple of weeks. Found a great place, a great Airbnb right in town. So it's tough, man. I think in the future, I'm going to have a designated trainer. I've talked with Sean a little bit about the options of maybe sending guys right to him, just hiring them in, putting them through a 1-week crash course here, and then send them right to Evansville for 2 or 3 weeks and just train with his crew, pay him to train them.
Yeah.
That always seems to be more. It's great in theory. It's really tough to do in practice. So we're still playing with the idea some, but I don't know. Probably as time goes on, if we grow bigger, we're going to have some sort of a training facility of some type at our disposal.
Nice. So we're going to switch gears. What's the biggest takeaway from last year throughout your business and personal life?
Oh boy. I guess as far as my business life is concerned, I don't know. I feel like we're on track. I've got a good trajectory for business. Fencing business is a very small aspect of what I really want to do in life. I like real estate. None of our None of our commercial real estate is owned by the operating companies. You know, if you listen to Andrew Martin, I don't know if Andrew ever watches this show, but he has taught me a shit ton more than I could ever thank him for.
He's from Pensacola.
Yeah, he's from Pensacola. Great guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's taught me a lot about how to restructure things and make sure, and that's how we're buying, you know, we're using our income from our fencing, our cash flow from our fencing to be able to go out and lease properties from ourselves that then we're able to purchase and put in our you know, our land holdings company. So we're starting to really kind of dial in what our business model is, and it's the fencing is the moneymaker, I guess, but our business model is to reinvest our capital into more investment properties, into more things, so that it builds an empire. Because I don't care how much money you're making in the fencing industry. If you're making $1 million a year gross revenue, if you're making 10, if you're not doing something to leverage those cash flows and those positive gains on good years into something that's going to give you long-term benefits, you know, you're never going to become wealthy. You're never going to have generational wealth from that. It's very, very difficult. You'll just live really good while you're doing the job. My father-in-law told me a long time ago, you know, if you want to own a business, own a business. If you want to own a job, don't go work for somebody. So right. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I had no idea. I just remember the words, and it took me a long time to realize that, what it meant. So as far as business goes, you know, just realizing that we're focusing our mission, and our mission is to build our commercial assets inside of our land holdings company, and to build a good product with our fencing companies, and to keep building our operating companies, which are fencing companies, and putting them in our own commercial real estate so that we have a positive cash flow that's paying for our commercial real estate. That's the biggest thing I've taken away this year, is that's kind of a focused direction on that.
Nice.
Personally, I found that I get the most enjoyment out of giving our excess back to the community and doing things for, you know, like school organizations. We like to help out there. We have a bunch of donation line items in our matrix, and we do things for our schools. We think that's important. So that's an important thing to me. I make an important thing to my team. I'll let the team bring me ideas of things they want to donate to, and then our company can kind of vote, if you will, on what we're going to do for projects, special needs people, things like that. The team gets to bring those back, and we can discuss them and kind of do them as a team. And then, man, I know that personally I've only got about, I think anyway, maybe things change, but 5, 7, 10 more years at max of wanting to drive hard at it, and I'll be in my 50s. And if I had to tell you where I'll see myself in 10 years, it's on one of my mules in the backcountry, just plodding around, right? I went and bought a new mule a couple weeks ago, and I just bought 2 more. I'm headed to Arkansas Thursday to pick up 2 more. I bought them because I had a fence line I had to go check, or at least that's what I told myself. We deal with a property that's got 20 miles of fence line, and we maintain it and do a prescription for it every 5 years of what we're going to replace, what we have to repair. And it got devastated in the ice storm. So I'm like, I can't get through there with anything, but I could if I had a good riding mule again. So
right.
And that's my passion. I like the outdoors. I like my hounds. I like hunting. I like mules. And so I'm trying to focus in on my professional life so that I can get to where my personal life can take priority again here in the next, you know, decade.
That's awesome, dude. I freaking love it. I love it. All right. Well, we are coming up on time, and hour has gone by like that. So you got any like closing thoughts for anybody?
Dude, if you guys don't have a mentor or a mentorship program or belong to something, seek it out. I coach a couple guys in the academy, and I find so much joy in that. I find so much passion in helping other people understand, and I get a great benefit out of it because I hate to dive deep into things with people on their side. I get to teach, and sometimes teaching things is the best way to really fully understand it and learn it yourself. I mean, Billy, you can attest to that. Yep. When you're teaching something, sometimes the light bulb goes off in your own head, or it just sinks that thing home even more in your own self. But what it gives you as the mentoree is a safe space to go and not feel like you're on an island, because as business owners especially, we often feel like we're on an island. We can't sometimes talk to our spouse about it in depth. Our family is really tough to talk about it with. Can't talk about it with the team members that work with us a lot. So we end up feeling like it's really lonely. The head that gets to wear the crown gets to be real lonely at times. So seek out mentorship. I'm really biased here. I love the Mr. Fence Academy. I bleed blue, even though I wear red, mostly just to piss Sean off. No, it's because cherries are red, and that's the cherry capital of the world. Grand Traverse Fence. That's why we're red. But I bleed blue. I believe in the Mr. Fence Academy system. I believe in the mindset. I believe in the attitudes of the people that are in it. And we would love to have you folks, any of you, come to us with a conversation. My time's free. I don't get paid for any of this. I get paid for zero of it. And I don't want to get paid for any of it. I just enjoy being here, and I enjoy helping the next generation of fence companies. So we really want to see more people taking that next step. If the academy is not for you, I don't care who it is. Find a mentor that you can trust. Maybe it's not even from the fence industry. Maybe it's from a mixed group or another industry, another service industry that's willing to take you under their wing and be there for you. It's a very, very important thing if you're going to have longevity in any one of these trade industries.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. All right, man. We'll let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't do a lot of social media. Right. You can find me. I'm on Facebook, I guess. You can always find me through the academy if you need to talk to me. You can call our office, and if you have something to talk to me about, they'll get you to me. They'll send you to me. That's no problem. Reach out to me on Facebook, and I'll message you back. I'll give you my phone number personally there, and we can talk. If it's something you really need, I don't care who you are. I love jumping on planes and flying out to places. So I've been known to just jump on a plane and show up in places like Chris's place, I'll happily do that. Yeah, man. And if you ever are in the southern Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness, just north of Yellowstone National Park, and you see some 6'3" hillbilly on a mule, that's me. Come say hi.
There we go. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to come on here. Let Miss Amanda know I said hello, and let that
you do the same.
know I said hello as well.
Yeah, brother.
And bro,
can we all give this guy a big round of applause here? This is incredible. What he's given up, and I know this for a fact, what he has to give up to put out and produce these types of shows so that we, the consuming audience, can watch him and enjoy it and learn some stuff is incredible, because he's not getting rich doing it. He just ain't. It's not about that to him. He has a passion for it and a passion for connecting our industry. And so, man, I thank you. I appreciate that of you.
Thank you very much, man. Hey, man, and thank you for being my personal accountability coach. I know things have been kind of crazy with the losing your cell service and everything, but I do seriously very much appreciate it. Guys, if you didn't know that, Jordan Hunt is my accountability coach. He holds me accountable for everything I said that I was going to do in the retreat, and
it's tough, man, but we need somebody in our lives that are going to call us on our bullshit, right?
Yeah,
and don't care. I just will.
Absolutely, man. And I'm making strides towards that goal that I've set. Good. And I've got a year to do it. So as long as you're making positive strides every single day, but just like Jordan said, reach out, find yourself a mentor. It doesn't have to be in the fence industry. It doesn't have to be in a trade. It could just be someone who knows life better than you. But find somebody outside of your friend circle, outside of that immediate friend circle, right? Because those guys are going to lie to you, right? But
that's the key, man. That's definitely the key.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, if I come to you with something that's sideways, you're going to look at me and you're going to tell me, Billy, that's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah. You can't lie to me, man. Yeah. Go piss on my back and tell me it's raining.
Yeah, absolutely. So go guys, go get yourself a mentor. Anybody, doesn't have to be in the fence industry, like I said, but I promise you will find yourself personally better, business better, and things just start falling into place after that, man.
Sure do. Yep, absolutely. So, and always come talk to us at Mr. Fence Academy. We'd love to talk to each and every one of you that hasn't already talked to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, again, thank you for taking time out of your night, brother. I will talk to you here shortly, and you have a wonderful night. All right.
Sounds good, dude. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys, that's it for the show tonight. We got an awesome show lined up for you next week, of course. Once again, please go to your favorite audio podcast platform and subscribe, like, whatever it is on that platform. Hit that auto download button for me. Do me a real great service. And guys, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I'll see y'all next week, 7:30.